Hello Internet and welcome to another video of Bazzle Spot Live. If you watched Monday's video, you will hopefully see we're using this new team, very trick room oriented team with a bit of a fast mode, good old TORKREDIBLE Lilligant, I like those two. And so, yep, I would like to play with these Pokemon in my party. Let's go, let's see. We got 2 games, we won 2 games, and, our ascent is hopefully, just at the beginning here. Hopefully we'll get quite far with the team, because I do quite like it. Like I said in Monday's video, I have laddered quite, reasonably successfully with this team on Showdown. So, out of all the teams that I've put together this format, this season so far, this one's probably my favourite so far, just because I am very comfortable with heavy Trick Room, actually. Not many people will have known me back at the beginning of the 2013 season, and that was really when I sort of became known as a player. I was using very, very hard Trick Room back with Marowak and Porygon 2, actually. So 2 Pokemon that are big this year, I was using all the way back then. And considering we are right at the just starting off on the ladder, we found someone over 1,700. So the Battle Spot pairing system is being very kind to us. So let's see what we can do here, because this guy has got quite a few things on his team that I kind of struggle with. Tapu Fini can be an issue. Arcanine is always a pain. Garchomp, depending on what it is, can be a problem. But the others are not too much of a problem. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go with Oranguru and Metagross again, like I did game 1 on Monday. And I'm going to go with Torkoal, and I'm going to go with Snorlax in the back too. So I do like these 4. This is the sort of heavy Trick Room mode, I suppose. And this lead basically forces them to either stop Trick Room, or I get Trick Room up, obviously, or stop Metagross exploding and blowing up both their Pokemon. So it's quite an interesting lead. Tapu Fini and Arcanine here. Okay, so if the Arcanine has got Roar, Metagross will be faster, and I'll be able to explode first and knock it out. He obviously could just go straight for a Flare Blitz or Inferno Overdrive or whatever into my Metagross. If he did do that, then okay, we might be in a few problems. But then I would get Trick Room up, and I would get a free switch into maybe my Snorlax right now. With the Misty Terrain, he wouldn't be able to burn me either, so I could belly drum up and hopefully go from there. So that's what I'm thinking. So I am going to Trick Room here, and I am going to explode here. So we'll see how this works out. You just go straight for a Flare Blitz. You have to assume it's into the Metagross. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're losing Metagross. Tapu Fini, maybe it'll go for a Calm Mind or something, or maybe a Taunt. Don't know what it's inclined to do here. It is a Taunt. Okay, so good job we have got the Mental Herb on Oranguru. It's a very mentally tough Primeape. This Primeape? Primeape was a Pokemon. Primate. I like work with animals. So yeah, so I'm going to put Snorlax in, like I was saying. Okay, so yeah, Snorlax will be faster. He can't taunt my Snorlax. He could taunt my Oranguru. Worst case scenario, I belly drum up and he Flare Blitzes into me and Moonblasts into the Snorlax. I suppose that would be the worst case scenario, wouldn't it? So yeah, I'm definitely not going to bring in my Torkoal here. I suppose he could taunt my Oranguru now, expecting Instruct shenanigans to come. But I mean, a +6 return will knock out either of these Pokemon, so I don't really need to get any damage off with anything. But I will just go straight for a Psyshock into the Tapu Fini, and I will go for a Belly Drum here, and just see how it works out. I feel like he has got to double target into the Snorlax, so just because this is potentially going to be very dangerous for him. But I'm pretty sure I will survive, like a Flare Blitz and a Moonblast. But then I suppose he could have extreme speed. I don't know, we'll see. So Psyshock gets a bit of damage off. Moonblast into probably the Snorlax. Yeah. So you'd imagine he's doubling up into the Snorlax here, and a Flare Blitz. Yeah. So hopefully Ooh, yeah, that's not extreme speed range, is it? Definitely not in extreme speed range. So now I'm just going to go for an Instruct into the Snorlax and return into one of them. I will return into the Arcanine, just because I think that's the one that's least likely to protect. So yeah, Tapu Fini protects it. I mean, he might just go for a double protect here. No, well, okay, so we just go for an extreme speed. So Snorlax should survive that. Yeah, there's no Life Orb or anything there. So we picked the right target to return there, which is nice. So we've lost our Metagross, and we've lost most of the HP on our Snorlax here too. But we have still got 2 turns of Trick Room. We have still got a +6 Snorlax, and we can Instruct these +2 returns. So how's he going to play this? What has he got in the back that can potentially stand up to this? I have got my Torkoal in the back, remember, so I am just going to go straight for an Instruct again and return into the Tapu Fini. If the Katana protects, then fair enough. I mean, if he's got Garchomp in the back, do you think that is maybe in a rough skin range? But he doesn't mess around with it. Yeah, and this is going to do a lot of damage to the Katana as well. Maybe even put it in Psyshock range. So we'll see. We'll see what it does. But like I was saying, you know, we lost a lot of Pokemon at the beginning of this battle. But now because we put ourselves into this position, look how we're not sweeping through his team anymore, but we were putting in a lot of work there. Now the problem is if he's got Garchomp now, and yeah, I'm not sure if we'd be able to win if he has got Garchomp, but we'll see. I think we've only got one more turn of Trick Room as well, so it is Garchomp, which is kind of unfortunate. If the Katana can protect as well, if that's not Assault Vested, then we're in a quite a bad position as well. Because, how do you check? Yeah, so this is the last turn of Trick Room. So, yeah, there's no reason not just to go for an Instruct and Erupt here. And hope that the Katana is Assault Vested, because I really want that to go down. So, Garchomp protects. Does the Katana protect? No, it doesn't. Good. Okay, so at least we are 1-on-1 now, and Garchomp cannot knock out Oranguru in one hit. So I should be able to get Trick Room up again. So maybe we can win this. We'll see. Garchomp doesn't taunt, so we'll see. Oranguru hasn't taken any damage, has it? Or has it? Let's see. The suspense. Yeah, Oranguru hasn't taken any damage, so we can just go for a Trick Room here and protect. He might go for a Tectonic Rage into Torkoal here. If he does, I can't stop that. So protecting is the best option here. And then we'll see how we go. So, I don't know, it's on the cards, potentially, but yeah, here it is. So this is going to do, you know, probably about 40%, I'm going to guess, to Torkoal. It does mean that I'm not really going to want to be Erupting. I'm probably going to be Flamethrowing instead. But it does mean that obviously it's not Assault Vested or, you know, anything like that. Oh, he actually goes straight into the Oranguru, so good, I'll have that. Because without a critical hit, this is not knocking out my Oranguru. It is EV to survive this. Yeah, with ease. And because it is single target now, 2 Eruptions should knock this Garchomp out. So he might protect to try and maybe stall out some Sun turns, but we have still got, you know, a reasonable amount of Sun turns going on. So we'll Instruct our Torkoal here and Erupt. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is game 1. So Torkoal putting in some work again. And if it doesn't knock it out, I suppose if he's got Earthquake, then and he manages to stall Trick Room out, then he might win. But I do have confidence that 2 Eruptions, single target in the sun, will knock out this Garchomp. So yeah, here we go. He's trying to hang on. So Instruct and Erupt. Maybe trying to stall out some PP as well. But yeah, he shouldn't protect this turn, just because, you know. Ooh, that's close actually. It's closer than I thought it was going to be. Let's see then. Let's see the wonder of damage rolls. So that one was obviously just over half. This one gets it. Nice one. Good. So nice. We've done three battles this week so far, and we've won all of them. And you know, the battle spot pairing system has been quite good to us. So you know, hopefully we're going to get some points from that. You know, unfortunate to our opponent for being paired with someone. You know, so you know, at the beginning of the ladder. But you know, it is how it is, isn't it? You know, if you want to have a high ranking, you need to win games, don't you? So that's how it works. So here we go. Let's not save the video because it's being saved on my computer just here. And let's do one more game then. Let's see if we can continue this roll going. Let's pick some more music too. There we go. So yeah, 3 games. We've actually got an average of 20 points from each game. And again, we find someone with a decent rating compared to our own. Ooh, but this one has got one of the few things that I really didn't like facing on it. The Araquanid is nasty. There's one Pokemon that I feel is my worst matchup, and we've not met any of them yet. But Araquanid is probably close to 2nd or 3rd or so, so it means I'm going to be, I suppose, a bit more reliant on Snorlax in this one if I do get Trick Room up. He has got his own Porygon 2 as well, so he could potentially reverse Trick Room. Again, I can just see him going with Arcanine Garchomp leading here. Maybe Porygon 2, but definitely one of at least Arcanine and Garchomp, I would say. So how do we want to go about this? I do need to rely on Snorlax quite a bit here, but like I'm tempted to just put it out straight away. No, I can't do that, can I? This is tough. Yeah. Okay, well let's go with Hariyama, Oranguru, and Snorlax, and Torkoal. So no Lilligant, no Metagross in this one. I don't know. One of my best ways of getting rid of Araquanid is exploding on it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this a little bit too much. Because if I was on Showdown, then I would have just led with Metagross here. And looking at this lead, I think I probably should have, to be honest. But yeah, I'm not too bothered. I'm not too aggrieved by this. I do think. I mean, he might go for an Aurora Veil here, because that would help him stall out Trick Room turns quite effectively, and he could have Roar on his Arcanine as well. And I'm inclined to think maybe he does, because he has led with his Arcanine here, and nothing else really that can prevent Trick Room. So I kind of feel like I'm forced to go for the Fake Out here onto the Arcanine, and I will Trick Room. There's a good chance he'll bring in his own Araquanid here, though, just because my Trick Room is very obvious. So we'll see. And if it is Z move Araquanid, then it will just one-shot my Hariyama if it wants to. But we'll see. If he doesn't bring in the Araquanid this turn, I won't be too. Yeah, this is probably coming in now, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. I won't be too bothered, but here it is. Yeah, so this is the thing that I'm worried about. And so we do get the Fake Out into the right slot here, but we've got Trick Room up, and like I was saying, we're going to help out his Araquanid here, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, so close combat's not going to do anything to the Araquanid if the Hariyama did survive this next turn. Knock off, if it is holding the crystal, isn't going to do anything to it either. So yeah, it's not good. I mean, what could I have done that turn? Like, if I was going to predict him to switch his Ninetales out, well, one of them out, then what I would have not Trick Roomed, maybe brought in the Snorlax, but even still, without setting up, it's not good, that is it? Maybe I need to get into a position where I don't know, I've got Snorlax out in the sun or something. I don't know. I'm just going to go for a close combat into the Arcanine, and I think I can't really risk any switches. I am going to go for a Psy Shock into the Araquanid, just because I'm desperate for some damage on it. But yeah, it is a Z move Araquanid. Kind of expecting it to target my Hariyama here, but if it does, I'm not too bothered. If he targets the Oranguru, then you know I'll have it. You know, I'll take that definitely. But yeah, it's into the Hariyama, which is fair enough, to be expected. And yeah, Hariyama does go down there. So Arcanine, what's it gonna do? So Araquanid does take a little bit from that, and it is snarling. Okay. So what have we seen from this? We've only seen snarl, haven't we, from this Arcanine? So it could have roar, I suppose. Maybe if it's a bit more of a supportive one. Like if I put my Snorlax in, he could maybe predict me to Belly Drum and roar it out. He really could do if he has got roar, or if he's got Will-O-Wisp, he could just burn that too. But I feel like I kind of need to make something happen now, so I am going to Belly Drum with Snorlax. And do I bring in my Torkoal to reduce liquidation damage and potentially risk boosting his fire move or not? I think I do, actually. I think I do bring in Torkoal, just because it gives me a bit more offense. And if this is a support Arcanine, then like a flamethrower shouldn't do too much damage. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully he's going to be a little bit scared and make some switches or protect or something this turn. But yeah, you can't really do that in front of a Snorlax when it's got potential to just Belly Drum like this. So I don't blame him for not doing that. So we actually got Leech Life. So that looks like a wonderful prediction there, doesn't it? But obviously wasn't. We'll see if it's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp or a Flare Blitz or a Flamethrower or something, or a Roar onto the Snorlax. That's exactly what I was worried about. So yeah, I kind of predicted the Roar. I kind of was worried about him doing it onto that slot too. So you know, good for him. And now we're in a very poor position, a very bad position now. So yeah, this is pretty much almost as bad as what this team can come up against. It's really struggling now. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could have got a return into the Araquanid there for free, but there's not really anything that I can do here, to be honest. I'm just going to be desperate and try and target into this Araquanid as much as I can. You can't instruct Solar Beam, so, you know, can't do that. Fire is effectively resisted on the Araquanid, but, you know, we are in Sun. Flamethrower is still pretty decent. It's not going to knock it out, though, unless I get maybe a couple of critical hits, or maybe one critical hit. Liquidation does a decent amount of damage. And his Arcanine is surely just going to go for a Snarl here, but yeah, I suppose this is a good example of what this team really does struggle with. Yeah, so it is a Snarl. The Araquanid does hang on there, and because we have already used the berry on the Snorlax, this game is pretty much over now, I think. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating. What did we see? Oh, we saw Ninetales, didn't we? And that's all we have seen so far. One more turn of Trick Room. Yeah, we're not really going to get too much out of this, I don't think. We'll try and Psyshock into the Arcanine and just Flamethrower into the Araquanid, but I can't see my opponent. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of obvious too. I mean, I can't see my opponent losing from here. Arcanine. I'm probably just going to go for another Snarl, to be honest, but yeah, we're not doing anything here, so it's just a waste of time to continue, isn't it, this? So I think we'll just flee from this one, and we'll look for another one, seeing as we can do. I think we've got time, haven't we? Always nice to finish on high. So we've had our first loss, but you know, it is what it is. It's I kind of knew I would struggle with the Araquanid, and having Roar on Arcanine was a big problem. I mean, I'm forfeiting here because we are losing Trick Room now. He can easily stop us getting Trick Room up again. I I mean, I suppose I could Side Shock into the Araquanid. Oranguru will be faster out of Trick Room. But he will surely have a fire move on his Arcanine. He can just knock out the Oranguru. And Snorlax in the back is not going to beat 4 Pokemon all by itself without its berry. You know, maybe if it did have its berry, potentially. But no, I'm just not going to waste any more time there. I'm just going to go into another battle and have a bit of a bumper Wednesday. Why not? As there we go. Yep, there we go. It's all going through. Lovely. And let's continue. So, extra long episode. Way. Let's pick some different music. There we go. Wild Pokemon. Why not? Okay, so let's let's try and claw some of those points back that we very cheekily earned. So we find someone else with I suppose a higher rating, but I suppose it's not that hard to find someone with a higher rating when you just sort of started on the ladder. But this guy's got quite an interesting team. He's got a Xurkitree, which is not really seen very often. Goodra is actually a bit of a problem for this team as well, to be honest. So yeah, that's annoying. But the rest of the team does look quite handleable. I am not going to think about this one too much. I'm just going to go with Oranguru, Metagross, and Snorlax, and Torkoal. And I'm feeling pretty good about these 4 Pokemon going into this game. So, yeah, no Araquanid here, thank goodness. Solar Beam will do a big chunk to the Gastrodon, so it doesn't really do the same thing, Gastrodon. Yeah, maybe the Goodra could be a bit of a problem. Worst case scenario here, he leads with... well, absolute worst case scenario is like he knocks out Metagross with Arcanine and has Roar on Ninetales. I suppose that's the absolute worst case scenario, but worst case scenario, he knocks out Metagross and I get Trick Room up. But I don't know. I think his team looks pretty susceptible to Trick Room here. So hopefully this will be a pretty fast game and we can claim some points back. As here he is, Mr. Chap from Japan. I mean, I suppose it is one thing with this team. Yeah, there's the Arcanine. Goodra can learn Dragon Tail, so is he gonna Dragon Tail? I don't know. But I mean, this is a little bit scary, I suppose, because if he knocks out Metagross, and even if I do get Trick Room up, he could potentially burn my Snorlax if I try and set up in its face. What I was going to say is, like, one thing with this team is I don't really have, because like he's got a very easy sort of fire move target into the Metagross here. I don't really have anything that can enjoy taking a fire move on the switch in. Maybe Araquanid would be alright on my own team here. But yeah, I'm not going to think about this too much. I'm just going to go for a Trick Room and an Explosion. And, who knows? Maybe he'll over-predict. Maybe he'll double target into the Oranguru. Or maybe he will just protect his Arcanine. And his Goodra as well. Okay, well that's not an Assault Vest Goodra, which is what you normally kind of expect to see on the Goodra. And, yeah, this has not been a pretty turn 1, is it? So, okay, plus sides, we're getting Trick Room up. But we've just lost our Metagross. So, I guess he could see that coming. It is fairly obvious, when you see a lead like this. But, yeah, I mean, even if he was going to protect, one of his Pokemon, I didn't think the Goodra would have protect. Because, like I said, normally they've got an Assault Vest. So I am going to put Snorlax out now. And I think I have got to start trying to belly drum up. And we'll see how we go, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I will Side Shock into the Arcanine. If he Will-O-Wisps, a +6 burnt return is still going to be doing a lot of damage. The worry, I suppose, is if he's got maybe close combat, or maybe it's just an offensive one with like Flare Blitz and a Life Orb, and he doubles into it, and that would definitely be an effective way of dealing with this team. So maybe, yeah, maybe Battle Spots, people are a little bit wiser to this sort of stuff. Maybe, I mean, I don't know how many people use this sort of stuff on Battle Spot. Maybe, it's fairly common, I don't know. But, I don't know, we'll see how this turn plays out, because this is going to be the really important turn. So, I mean, maybe this guy will roar me too. So no, Dragon Pulse into the, yeah, he's just doubling into it, isn't he? Surely. And he has got close combat, which knocks me out. That's not good. That is not good. Okay. Well, this has been a bit of a disaster, hasn't it? Okay, so we know that we know that the Gudra is not assault vested. But it's still very easily going to take 2 eruptions here. But we'll see what Torkoal can do, I suppose. Because if this Arcanine, I mean, he could just double protect here, to be honest. I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't. But if he doesn't extreme speed the Torkoal, then at least 2 eruptions will knock out the Arcanine from here. But he can very easily just stall out another turn of Trick Room here, yeah, which he does. So he was very obviously expecting the explosion turn 1, which people on Showdown normally don't. Okay, so we're going to have 1 turn of Trick Room left, aren't we? I think after this. And this is, I mean, the combination of these 2 full power options is probably going to do a maximum of about... actually, on non-assault vested Gudra, I'm not too sure. But I'm going to guess at about between like 60 and 70%. That's my guess. I mean, he might extreme speed here too. No, he withdraws his Arcanine, which is interesting. Okay, so he's sacrificing his Crobat here. Gudra. Okay, so we're going to get a single target eruption onto the thingy here. So, you know, we're going to do a decent chunk to it, but... I don't know, what's he got in the back then? So he's got Arcanine. I mean, if we could potentially get Trick Room up again, Torkoal could maybe do some good work. That did quite a lot of damage, actually. And, okay, so Arcanine comes back in. So, what, have we got 1 more turn of Trick Room now then? Didn't see the message, did we? So we can't erupt here, we kind of do need to Flamethrower. Yeah, so we got 1 more turn of Trick Room. He can double protect here. But, I'm just going to Instruct and Flamethrower into the Arcanine. Yeah, so good to protect. Is Arcanine going to protect here? I'm hoping not. No, it goes for an extreme speed. Into Torkoal, okay. Well, and it is Life Orb, so, you know, these 2 Flamethrowers should knock it out. And he will be down to his last 2 Pokemon. So, if he can't stop my Oranguru getting Trick Room up again, do you think there's a chance we can win this game? I mean, I suppose it just depends on what he's got, doesn't it? I mean, what might he have? What did he have? Did he have a Ninetales on Team Preview? He had the Xurkitree, didn't he? I suppose that could be a bit scary. Gastrodon. Ooh. That's not good. Because I think... Is this the last turn of Sun? No, we've got 2 turns of Sun left. Okay, so we can Trick Room here. And we've kind of got to protect the Torkoal. So, I mean, he can easily double into the Oranguru. If he's got Stockpile or something like that on the Gastrodon, he could easily go for that here too. But if the Gastrodon doesn't have Protect, we've got a decent chance at this. Fissure. Okay. Maybe that's an Assault Vest Gastrodon then. Okay. So we twisted the dimensions. And Fissure's quite scary. So I am just going to go for a Psyshock into the Gudra here and Solar Beam into the Gastrodon. I mean, yeah, we can't Instruct Solar Beam, just in case it is Assault Vested. If it's got Fissure, it probably doesn't have Protect. So, on this one last turn of Sun, are we actually going to pull through with this game? I mean, if it is Assault Vested, the Solar Beam shouldn't knock out the Gastrodon. Psyshock, because it is on the physical side, might knock out the Gudra. Maybe. Okay, well, Solar Beam knocks out the Gastrodon. And Psyshock knocks out the Goodra. Can you actually believe that? Can you believe that? From turn 1, when I exploded into 2 protects, and then belly drummed in the face of a close combat and a double target to knock it out. He had 4 Pokemon left, I'd not done any damage, and Oranguru and Torkoal pulled through there like I've never seen before. So, wow, well there you go. That is the power of Oranguru and Torkoal for you. And I suppose he did protect his Goodra that turn that I instructed the Flamethrower into his Arcanine as well. I was kind of, that was the one turn that I needed to sort of capitalize on. I was thinking, like, just sort of psychologically, okay, his Goodra is sort of in potential range of an attack. Maybe he's going to be more likely to protect that. So he shouldn't have done that, but, you know, whatever. You know, that was a turnaround, wasn't it? So thanks a lot for watching this, guys. I'm glad we've ended on a high. Thank you, and goodbye for now.